Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, so today we're going to look into the North American hobby market, specifically how Horizon Hobby and AMain Hobbies have, well, really grown into these huge players through acquisitions.
Yeah, it's quite a story. We've basically got the rundown on their buyouts, their market strategy.
Right, and the mission for you listening is to get a real handle on what's shaping this industry, the different ways these companies grew and what it all means for the hobby scene, but without getting totally lost in the weeds.
Exactly. And what's immediately striking is how different their paths were. Take Horizon Hobby. They started back in 1985,
Yeah.
and they pretty much set out to dominate by owning the products. It's called vertical integration.
Okay, so not just distributing stuff, but owning the brands themselves.
Precisely.
And they started early, creating their own brands, right? Like Dynamite in 88.
Mm-hmm.
Dynamite, then Hobby Zone around 2000. Spectrum was 2004, 2005. Blade Helicopters, too, around then. Names most RC folks know. For sure. But they also bought up existing companies pretty aggressively, like Hobby Dynamics back in 92.
Yep, that got them distribution rights for JR radios, Cyto engines, plus direct sales channels.
Then Indie RC, that kind of set up HorizonHobby.com. And Team Losi, that was their move into serious racing.
Big move, yeah. And Athearn Trains in '04, jumping into model railroading.
And you can't forget the Hobbico RC Assets deal in 2018. That was huge.
Oh, monumental. That brought in RMA, Axial, Tower Hobbies.
Hmm.
Just massive brands. Made Horizon like instantly dominant in surface RC practically overnight.
It really did. And it's wild how some of these were already connected, Like Hobbico itself was Tower Hobbies and Great Plains merged.
Right, and Hobbico had already bought Axial before Horizon got them.
And even Athearn, which Horizon got for trains, had bought Globe Models and Model Die Casting Roundhouse way back.
It's like this complex family tree of hobby companies all consolidating. We counted roughly, 23 distinct companies now under Horizon?
Something like that. So Horizon's play is clearly about owning the products people buy.
Exactly. Now, slip over to AMain Hobbies. Totally different story. They started later, 2004, just as an online store for RC parts.
Okay.
Their strategy?
Hmm?
More horizontal. Buying up ways to reach the customer, the retail channels.
Ah, right. Like those big moves in 2019, Performance Bicycle and Nash Bar.
Major online bike retailers.
Yep.
And Dance Comp for BMX bikes.
But the real bombshell recently was Hobbytown, wasn't it? 2023, the biggest hobby store franchise in the U.S.
That's the one. That really shows their strategy.
Right.
Controlling the where people buy hobby stuff. They do have some house brands, like ProTech RC and EcoPower.
Sure, accessories and electronics.
Yes, but their main growth engine has been snapping up these retail networks, building this massive customer access. Performance, Nash Bar, Dance Comp, Hobbytown. They're buying customer bases and sales channels.
Okay, so let's boil this down. Horizon, vertical immigration, buying brands, owning the what, been doing it longer. AMain, horizontal expansion, buying retailers, owning the where. More recent, very rapid acquisitions in retail.
That's the core difference. And it means they face different integration challenges, right? Horizon has to manage this huge, diverse portfolio of product brands.
Losi, RMA, Axial, Spectrum, E-Flight, Proline, now too. Lots of moving parts.
While AMain's juggling different types of retail, big e-commerce sites, physical franchise stores via Hobbytown, their own distribution.
So you end up with Horizon positioned as this dominant brand owner, the innovator, perhaps.
And then AMain is this powerful multi-channel retailer and distributor controlling access.
Right. So the big takeaway here seems to be, well, there are two clear paths to get major influence in this market. You either control the stuff being sold,
or you control how people buy the stuff.
Yeah.
And that concentration of power, both in products and distribution. Well, that raises some, interesting points for you, the enthusiast.
This is where we start thinking about the future, right? What does this mean for the hobbyist? On one hand, maybe better availability, more efficient.
Could be. Maybe streamlined service, wider reach for some brands.
But the flip side, does it potentially limit choice? Squeeze out smaller independent shops or brands?
That's the concern, isn't it? Less diversity in the long run, perhaps.
So here's something to chew on. How might this concentration, having these two giants dominating product and retail, actually shape the future of the niche hobbies you love? What are the real benefits and maybe the hidden drawbacks down the road?
Something to definitely think about as things continue to evolve.